When I visited Baldwin Wallace University in the summer of 2015, I was hit over the head with the apparent love and support of every single faculty member at BW. Then, during my senior year of high school, I met with Brian Bowser, the incredible leader of our Arts Management and Entrepreneurship major. That was it. I knew after talking with him that there was no other program that would top BW's. The past 4 years have been a confirmation that I chose the perfect school. My experiences at BW stretched me in ways I could have never imagined, and my classes prepared me not only to enter the workforce, but also to be able to succeed in life. In a problem-solving class, I learned how to solve a Rubik's Cube, an assignment that taught me so much more than how to align a bunch of colored squares. In my creative writing minor, I had writing professors and workshop peers who pushed me to dig deeper into my imagination and make my writing the best it could be. I also fell in love with ceramics after learning how to throw on a potter's wheel, which is way harder than it looks, by the way. And then there's the Conservatory of Music. I was so intimidated by this big fuchsia building when I entered as a freshman. I didn't know what I had to offer such an esteemed place. I was astounded by the talent that surrounded me, and I wanted to do something to support it. It was in the con lobby that I met Hannah Meyer, who told me offhandedly about her position as the producer of Music Theater Senior Showcase. For those unfamiliar, our amazing music theater program takes its senior class to New York City every year, where they perform a showcase for our industry's top agents and casting directors. As soon as Hannah mentioned the position, I knew it was something I wanted to do. Here was a way for me to use my talents to support the talent around me. I wound up lucky enough to serve as Hannah's associate producer my sophomore year, and then take over as producer my junior and senior year, an experience that taught me how to manage a ton of moving parts. While attending classes at BW, I was also making frequent trips to New York City to get my foot in the door in the theater industry there. The summer after my freshman year, I had the opportunity to intern at Feinstein's 54 Below, a cabaret club in the basement of Studio 54. It was during that summer that I met who I consider to be my New York family, better known as Joe Iconis and family. My boss and mentor at 54 Below, Jen Tepper, introduced me to Joe Iconis, who is a musical theater writer who's been writing prolifically for years. Joe and his wife, Lauren Marcus, welcomed me with open arms, and they became like second parents to me in the city. Joe had written this little musical called Be More Chill the year before I met him, and after a run at a regional theater in New Jersey, its future looked uncertain. However, that summer, its album suddenly started charting. I started talking to Joe about creating a social media presence for the show, and he was into the idea. The album kept charting, gaining more and more attention, and in the fall of my sophomore year, I was sitting in my Intro to Entrepreneurship class, and our professor, Lori Long, was talking about idea journals, which was a semester-long assignment that required us to jot down notes, plans, dreams, and ideas. Be More Chill was on my mind, and I started planning a dream social media plan for the show. In October of that year, I asked Joe if I could start an official Instagram account for the show. He let me run with it, and by January, we had around 15,000 followers. Joe was the first person who told me he thought I could have a career in social media. Enter Jerry Gehring, a Broadway producer. My freshman year at BW, Brian Bowser invited Jerry to campus to speak to our arts management program about commercial producing. We got the chance to ask him questions and chat with him afterward, and I really connected with him. Fast forward to 2018, he decided to produce Be More Chill off-Broadway that summer, along with my mentor from 54 Below, Jen Tepper. That summer off-Broadway challenged me more than anything I'd ever experienced. There was so much momentum and pressure on everyone because the show felt so close to making it to Broadway. Every single thing we did felt like we were a whisper away from either closing at the end of the summer or announcing our Broadway run, which would mean a debut for Joe, as well as much of the cast and a handful of other people, like me. I left that summer not knowing whether we would land a Broadway theater. Finally, a few weeks into my junior year at BW, I got the call that the show would be transferring to the Lyceum Theater on Broadway in March. Rehearsal started in January, and I was invited to come work on the show again as a social media and production intern, which meant working with both the creative team and our social media team at Marathon Digital. Thanks to Brian Bowser and BW's incredible support and flexibility, I was able to spend my second semester of junior year in New York City, working on Broadway while still being enrolled in classes. I spent a ton of time in Lauren Marcus's Broadway dressing room doing my homework while listening to the show through the monitors. The whole process was an absolute dream. Our first preview on Broadway, I was standing in the back of the theater as the lights went down when our assistant company manager ran over and handed me a ticket to the third row. I got to watch this group of people I loved perform our little show on a Broadway stage for the first time in front of an audience. During bows, I ran up the aisle to get to my backstage position and tears were streaming down my face. Our assistant company manager pulled me into a hug and said, "Welcome to Broadway." It was a total pinch me moment. That semester made me realize how much I really truly love this school. I'm so incredibly thankful for every single professor and faculty member here who have taught me, challenged me, and supported me, and believed in me. I will miss that fuchsia conservatory a whole lot and will always be a yellow jacket for life.